Welcome to the Wrestling Renaissance Rants. In this episode, I am now in-person camera. This camera won't be the best when you see it in other weeks, but since I'm at school, we are using our studio camera, which is actually a really good camera and mic. If you guys are watching it as audio, if you guys can either go into the channel or other areas to tell me how you guys think about the mic. You're not going to really hear any other time, but I actually really like these mics, and I would love to get some, like, this quality, the camera and all that another time, whenever I can, because that's really expensive. But if you guys are watching it as audio and want to see me in person, see me on camera, you guys can go to my YouTube channel, Ranger Co. Podcast. That's where all my the Wrestling Renaissance Rants videos go. Usually it was just a still image, but I really want to do on video, so there's actually something so you guys can see. So you guys get to see me, and I get to talk, and there's actually something to look at. So, to get started, we're going to go over the results from WWE Backlash France, which the audience there, the crowd was the best, and I really loved it. It made every match so much better. So the first match was Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus RKO, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. That match saw the debut of Tonga Lua, Tama Tonga's brother. Which, now that they're together, now that Tonga Lua is now in WWE, something I've been thinking about is, I think the Tonga brothers are going to go for the tag titles. And I think that would be amazing because they're both brothers. And it's going to be basically the replacement of the Usos. But because of that, I think maybe Jimmy may rejoin with Jay. And you're going to have another Bloodlines of War. A brother versus brothers versus brothers. The Usos versus the Tonga family. Which, that will be amazing. And we could even see, like, Rikishi come back with the Usos versus Haku or The Rock with the Tonga family, or whoever related to the Tonga family versus the Uso family. I think that would be a really awesome 6-man tag, and just for tag championship or just tag matches, I think that would be really cool. In that match, the Bloodline wins because of the interference of Tonga Lua, which I'm really excited to see more members coming in from the family, and looking forward for some great rivalries. Then we have Bayley, who is the champion, in a triple threat against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. So I actually had Tiffany Stratton winning. I'm pretty sure before Backlash, I kept saying Tiffany Stratton should win, or Tiffany doesn't win this, but Tiffany goes in either for the Queen of the Wing or Money in the Bank, because I really think she should get a women's title, or some type of big achievement. So I'm really hoping Tiffany Stratton gets one of that. But Bayley retains, taking out both of them. Really good match. Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match of the current champion Damian versus Jey Uso. Jey would have won. And I would have loved to see Jey as World Heavyweight Champion. And the crowd was so awesome, made the match 10 times better. But due to interference by Finn Balor and JD McDonough, which I did not know JD McDonough was Jordan Devlin. I actually never knew that, because I knew who Jordan Devlin was because I played WWE Supercard. That's where look, I've watched wrestling for a long time, but that doesn't mean I knew any of the names, like, of anyone until I started playing WWE Supercard, where then every time I saw a card, I'll look at all the new people on it, and once I start seeing them more, I'll be like, hey, I know who that is, because I played the games. I played Supercard, and I played the actual wrestling games. So, it was, that's how I knew Jordan Devlin, And recently I was doing research, and that's when I found out JD McDonough was Jordan Devlin. So that's cool. But Damian retains with the help, which he was out cold. But JD gave him a low break, in which got him momentum back in the game. Then we had the Kabuchi Warriors, who are the current tag champions, versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are the new champions. But, before we continue this, because I need to get this out there, starting very, very soon on the Ranger Co. podcast channel, every 2 months, I'll be releasing a specific ranking of theme songs. And then those theme songs, I'm going to be ranking them every 2 months. And then every year, starting about May, I'm going to be restarting the list with all the current ones. So all the lists I'm making are of the current from May 14th and 15th when I was doing research. That is the current roster because that's right after the WWE draft. So anyone after that, if they change your songs or anything like that, I will not have those songs in those lists. But those lists will be coming out every 2 months, starting, technically it would start in May. But I'm ranking the champions, the current champions, from after Backlash. So all the champions from when I made that list, all the current champions, I ranked all their theme songs from A, B, C, D, and F. I didn't do S because I didn't want to do that, because if it's a good song, it's an A. That's how I'm ranking it. But I will be doing multiple other rankings. You guys will see what they are. But if you guys want to be up to date on all the lists, because I will be releasing every single list that I make, as well as every single planned ranking list. And I'm also going to be doing a bunch more on Patreon. So on Patreon, we have 2 tiers right now. We have a $3 and a $7 tier. You guys get the $3 tier. You get the access to every single rank that I do. But also, every month, starting in June, I'll release 4 videos of doing ranking tier lists of specific stuff. So, upcoming in June, we have Lego themed, because I have the Lego Gaming Extravaganza happening on Twitch, because I'll be streaming almost every day from like June 11th, me playing a Lego game and trying to beat it throughout the month, and because I have so many games. But also, I'm going to be making 4 Lego themed tier lists, where I'm actually having to go out and get the images. Like, I'm making the tier list. I'm on tier list maker, and then I release the link based if it's a list that I'm making to do on YouTube. I'm gonna release the link around the time that I'm making the video, when the video is releasing. But for like the stuff on Patreon, all those lists will get posted on the Patreon, and then I'll also release what my list was, and then I will make the video and release some throughout the month. Also, if you guys get the $7 one, you guys have live voting power. So you guys get to vote on what other links I do, what other videos I should do. I do like a match club stuff where I will react to a wrestling match like that, or I live react to stuff as I'm ranking it. So you guys actually get the whole songs or whole videos instead of just seeing just the ranks without any of the background. But also, you guys get all the behind the scenes. So I have like here, I have all the stuff you guys don't see in this, because this is back. You're seeing the back of it. This has all the stuff that I work on for my podcast. I also have a bunch of other ones with all my ranks and all the research I do. And I will be posting these on Patreon. The stuff that I work on, all the research I'm doing, all the things that might not be included in it that I usually had put on these, and all the changes I do as I'm researching it. So you guys get to see some of the stuff I'm working on for all the stuff. Even for the YouTube ones, I've already posted some behind the scenes stuff on Patreon, with one of my tier lists that I was working on. Actually, 3 different tier lists. Actually, technically it was 6, but it's on 3 different papers. I've done a lot of research lately. I really care about this, especially because I'm graduating. So I'm trying to find something to be able to do, and I think this is stuff I could be able to edit and work on, and I can actually have video. And I've done tier lists before, and people want me to do more ranking videos, and I think this is a really good idea to get my Patreon going, so there's actually stuff to watch, but also so many other things. So, now we'll go on to the main event of Backlash. Cody Rhodes, the current champion, versus AJ Styles. And that was a good match. That was actually a really great match. But Cody Rhodes retains. So, out of the entire thing, the only ones that lost their titles were the Kabuki Warriors, with Jaden Belair winning the tag titles. Now, we're going to be going on to SmackDown. So, there's a lot to happen, but also, any of the King and Queen of the Ring stuff, I'm not going to say until I get to later on, because I actually have a whole bracket stuff of predictions and the brackets that were current, and then I checked off the people that I thought were going to win, and I was updating it as the brackets were going. So first, Logan, I think it was at the beginning of the show, Logan Paul comes out to Cody Rhodes after Nick Aldis tells him his next opponent. And Logan Paul comes out, and Logan Paul will be facing Cody Rhodes at King and Queen of the Ring. We have no idea, because it's really off, because everyone's saying all different things. If it's going to be for both titles, or one title, or no title. If it's just going to be champion versus champion, kind of like what Clash of Champions used to be. I think that was Clash of Champions, yeah. Where they would have champions from both brands, basically. But this is from one brand having both champions fight each other. If it is for both titles, I think Logan Paul is going to get a DQ finish. Because Logan Paul is not going to lose his title until SummerSlam, and Cody's not going to lose his title because this is a new reign. And they're not going to have the undisputed Universal lose their title that quickly. They're going to at least have it for half a year. I think that's their new norm, is have champions, have the Universal, undisputed Universal champion, have it for half a year or more. Which means you're probably not going to really see them lose at SummerSlam much, but you might see them lose at Crown Jewel. At Crown Jewel or Survivor Series. Because I think they're trying to get Survivor Series to be big again, because people have already said that they don't want to include it as the top big four. And I think they're going to try to get that up there again by having that undisputed lose it. But we also have Solo Sikoa tells Paul Heyman that Roman said to Solo, "You call the shots." From what he looked like when he said that, and how he was after giving the hug, I think it seems that he's definitely lying. But is The Rock involved? We definitely think he's lying about Roman, but do we think The Rock is involved with this? And I've looked on the line when I was watching this segment. A lot of people are not sure. A lot of people say The Rock. Some people say he's not part of it. Some people say that he does. He is. I have no idea how that might be. So, I think The Rock is not a part of it. Not fully. I think The Rock is kind of trying to be a part of it because he wants to be the head of the table. But Solo Sikoa was the right-hand man that said he was supposed to be the next heir as the tribal chief. And I think Solo is trying to also take on himself. But I think he is taking advice from The Rock. I think The Rock is telling him, hey, try this and do this. And that's what Solo's doing. But Solo's also doing some of the stuff on himself. So he can have his own bloodline that he controls. Which is a thing that I'm thinking when we get to Raw. I think it's happening with Judgment Day. So we have the King and Queen stuff. That stuff we'll go back to after we do the Raw and NXT. Now on Raw, Damian Priest gives Drew a world title shot once Drew McIntyre is healed. We have no idea how long this will be. So I'm actually going to ask you guys this, because this is something I'm not going to really do, because this is the question I want to give you guys. When do you think Drew's going to get healed, and what pay-per-view do you think he's going to get a shot at? Because people have given multiple dates on when he might be good, but I don't think he's going to have his title match at King or Queen of the Ring. So what pay-per-view do you think he's going to have his match at? Because there's a bunch of overseas and also overseas pay-per-views, but also a bunch of PLEs in the States. And what one do you think you have the title match at, and which one do you think would have been a better PLE to have him at? For bigger either crowds or a bigger audience, I guess, reaction. Because I think overseas might be a better option to do, but there's a bunch coming up. But then we have Chad Gable doesn't care for Maxine Dupree. Says that she is like a puppy dog. She is clueless and is just there to listen to what he says, but she's clueless. And Ivy Niles trying to help her. And Chad just outright told Ivy that she's clueless. She has no idea what she's doing. And he said that he just does not care about her. He's using her and she has no idea. So I'm excited to see Ivy Nile try to actually get Maxine Dupree to join her. And I would love to see a Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile team. Because that would be an awesome tag team to see. Then we have Judgment Day are the #1 tag contenders for the titles that Awesome Truth has. Which, I don't think Awesome Truth are going to lose the titles. Not until at least SummerSlam. But I have no idea if it will still be the Judgment Day, or we're going to see some other people go for it. Which I would love to see what you guys think. What tag team you think will go for the titles. Because I don't think Judgment Day is going to win it back. But we could see Jay and Jimmy keel up and get it at SummerSlam. And then the Bloodline decides to, or have the Bloodline then move over to Raw at some point. Or you have, champion versus champion, kind of like what would happen at Queen King of the Ring, but not for the titles. So you have Tonga Lula and Tama Tonga go for the SmackDown ones, and then you have them go against each other at SummerSlam, or you have them go at Payback. I think that would be really cool. Now, NXT, not much happened, but a big thing did happen. First, Tony D'Angelo got fined $20,000, but he had the money already. Gallus returns and attacks Wesley, Ivar, and Josh Briggs. 3 people that are in line to try to go for the North American Championship, which I think will become a Fatal 4-Way soon. Might happen at Battlegrounds. I actually didn't watch that segment about them showing up, but I did watch the Gallus return. And then Tony D'Angelo is the new NXT Heritage Cup champion, which I'm glad he has a title. Some type of title. It's a cup. I actually don't understand. I don't know if that's really a big title, I guess. I don't really care about that title as much, but at least he has something. Though they have so many titles for men's. Now, we have the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring current bracket, and then I'll go over my predictions, and we'll go over then the confirmed PLE matches for King and Queen of the Ring. So, the first 4 bouts from Raw was Gunther and Sheamus, Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio, Ricochet and Ilja Dragunov, and it was going to be Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor, but Drew was injured and Jay took over. So we'll start with Gunther and Sheamus. I put for Gunther winning. He did win. For Kofi and Rey, though, I put for Rey Mysterio to win. Did not expect that Kofi was going to get that upset win against Rey Mysterio. So that was actually a really good win. Then there was Ricochet versus Ilja Dragunov. I did pick Ilja and Dragunov. He did win. When it was originally Drew versus Finn Balor, I had picked for Finn Balor to win. But when Drew got injured and was replaced with Jey Uso, I had picked Jey Uso by the point that he was switched in. And Jey Uso did win. Then the quarterfinals for Raw did happen this week. It was Gunther versus Kofi Kingston. I had picked Gunther to win, and this was actually I made the bracket stuff before the Raw quarterfinals, but then I updated it afterwards. So Gunther did win, and it was Indra versus Jey Uso. I did pick Jey. I picked Jey because if you don't remember, I think Jey went after the Intercontinental. He would have won. He would have won the belt, but Jimmy Uso interfered and cost him it. But Jey would have actually won. So I think Jey deserves to get this win against Gunther, because Jey did, every time he's basically beat the champions, and then Jimmy or someone else would interfere and mess with his match right at the end after he'd beat the person. So that's why I think the problem is. Now we're going to go to the SmackDown side of the King of the Ring. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Baron Corbin versus Carmelo. LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. And Bobby Lashley versus Tama Tonga. Now, we'll go to AJ and Randy. I picked Randy Orton, because Randy Orton should not lose in the first match. But I would love to see Randy lose to someone as good as I can't speak. I want Randy to lose to someone that's, a big megastar, to really show that he is main event material. Then we have Baron Corbin and Carmelo. I picked Carmelo, and Carmelo did win. Then it was LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. I picked LA Knight. LA Knight did win. Then it was Bobby Lashley versus Tama Tonga. But Bobby Lashley got injured, and Angelo Dawkins took over. And I had picked for Angelo Dawkins to win. I had also picked for Bobby to win. Tama Tonga actually won. So now we have Randy Orton versus Carmelo. And these matches have not happened yet. This is the quarterfinals that will happen at SmackDown the day that this releases on all platforms. So it'll be Randy and Carmelo. I pick Randy Orton to win this. I originally went for Carmelo, but then when I saw who was in the next bracket, that's when I realized that, wait a minute, no, I think Randy is going to win this. Because the next one is LA Knight and Tama Tonga. And I think LA Knight's going to beat Tama Tonga, because he has to prove that he can beat everyone. But then I think it's going to be LA Knight versus Randy Orton. I think, actually, I already have the predictions written down, so I'll get to that. I'll get to what I predict after I do Crane and Ring. Sorry. Crane and Ring. Shayna versus Zelina. Io Sky versus Natalia. Asuka versus Lila Valkyrie. Ivy Nile versus Zoe Stark. Naomi versus Nia Jax. Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. Mitchin versus Tiffany Stratton. And Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. So, it was originally Shayna versus Zelina. Zelina got injured. Maxine Dupree took over. And I had Shayna winning before anyway, and I still had picked them. And Shayna won. Now, Io versus Natalia. I picked for Io winning. Io did win. Asuka versus Lila Valkyrie. Asuka was injured. Dakota Kai took over. So this is, I think Dakota Kai is actually second match. And first match since WrestleMania. And I actually picked for Dakota Kai to win. Lila Valkyrie won. And then Ivy Nile versus Zoe Stark. I picked for Zoe Stark to win. Zoe did win. Then we have Naomi and Nia Jax. I picked Naomi. Nia Jax won. Did not expect that. But also, I picked for Jade Cargill. There's Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. I picked Jade Cargill because I wanted to see what would happen if Naomi and Jade Cargill ended up having to go against each other in their bracket. They're tag champions, and then they'll have to go against each other. You'll have to sit. That would have been really fun to see. Especially if they had that they'll have to go on against each other as tag champions. Then it was Mitchin versus Tiffany Stratton. As I said, I love Tiffany Stratton, so I picked Tiffany Stratton to win that. Tiffany Stratton did win. And then there was Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. I picked Bianca to win, and Bianca did win. Now, the quarterfinals. The Raw ones have already happened, so it was Shayna versus Io. I picked Io Sky to win. Io did win. Then it was Lyra Valkyrie versus Zoe Stark. I picked Lyra to win. Lyra did win. Now, SmackDown. It is Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. I had picked Jade Cargill to win this. So you guys will see when SmackDown airs, the day that this releases, and we'll see who wins between Nia and Jade Cargill. Then it's Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair. I picked Tiffany Stratton because Tiffany Stratton, I really hope, wins this entire thing. This is a really big thing, and I really hope Tiffany Stratton wins this because she deserves it. She's a really good wrestler, and she'll be, I think, she'll be the second ever to win the Queen in Ring, but will be youngest because of that as well. So, yeah, I picked Tiffany Stratton, so I hope that works. Now that we've gone through both the King and Queen of Ring, we're going to go to my predictions. So, this was before the quarterfinals happened. So I have, so we'll actually start from the semifinals because I've already gone over what I had picked for Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring. So we'll start from the semifinals with Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyrie, because those are the ones that I said would win. And I say Lyra Valkyrie would win that match. Then, since I had put down for Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton to win their quarterfinals, I said in the semifinal, I think Tiffany's going to win that. And then I think Tiffany's going to win going to win the tournament. I think Tiffany Stratton's going to win the tournament against Lyra Valkyrie, which I think is a match I don't think we've seen before. Because I think Tiffany Stratton, I don't think had that match with Lyra Valkyrie before. I'm not sure though. But that is definitely a match I would love to see and have Tiffany Stratton win. Now, King of the Ring, it's Gunther and Jay. I think I originally... Oh, actually, I forgot. I never changed it when I went over to King of the Ring on who I think was going to win it. Or I did. I don't know. I actually was originally going to say that Jay makes it to the finals, but then when I was looking over the bottom ones, I realized that I changed it and I said Gunther's going to win. Gunther's going to win, go to the finals. But then between Randy and LA, I think LA Knight's going to win that. And it's going to be Gunther versus LA Knight, and I think LA Knight's going to win. I think LA Knight's going to become King of the Ring, beating Gunther. The reason why I changed it to Gunther instead of Jay winning, going to the finals, is because I don't think they'll want two baby faces, and LA Knight and Jey Uso are both baby faces. And I don't think they want baby faces in the tournament as the finals. So having LA Knight, which is the biggest baby face, versus Gunther, one of the biggest heels, is a really good match I don't think we've seen before. And that could really put him into the main event spot based on how good he does with Gunther in that match. Now, we're going to be finishing this up, and we'll be going on to the confirmed PLE matches. There are, as I have here, 3 matches confirmed, not including the King and Queen of the Ring finals, because those are not confirmed. We don't know who's in the finals that are going to go to that match at the pay-per-view. We have Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes, which we have talked about before. Even if it's just champion versus champion, I think Logan Paul is going to either get a DQ, or this is going to be one of the biggest matches, and he's going to really tear down the place. And they might actually bring it out where they might go down the stadium, like the stage, the ramp. I think they're going to make this a really big match, because even if it's just champion versus champion but not for our titles, Logan Paul makes really good matches, and I think there's going to be a really, really awesome match, especially with Cody's caliber. Because they're not going to make Logan lose very quickly or in a really bad way, or make Cody lose in a bad way. It's either Logan wins by DQ, or they're going to have a really, really awesome match to make it not kill any of their characters. Because if Logan loses really badly, that ruins his credibility. And if Cody loses badly, that loses his credibility. They have to have a really good match, or they're going to play it fair, or they're going to have a DQ finish by either one of them. Cody might even do a DQ finish. We have no idea how that will work. But, like, they're both champions. They could both use their own title belts. I think this Logan versus Cody thing, from what it sounds like, if it is not for the titles, might be more brought upon. They might have a stipulation. Only because it's Saudi Arabia, should have stipulation, so it's a really cool match. Just because if it's just them fighting with the DQ or something, it's not that good. But if they do like a special stipulation or something, it will make the match really good. But I think that's the thing. I don't think, as I said, I was thinking DQ finish. For DQ finish, technically no one wins, but it'd be Cody winning by DQ, because Logan will get himself DQ. Because I don't think any of them are going to pin each other. Because if they do that, that's going to ruin the momentum of one or the other. So I don't think there's going to be a clean finish. I think it's definitely going to be some type of DQ or something. Or, because it's a Saudi Arabia show, might have one of the buddies show up. Which, I would love to see who's going to show up there then. Then we have Becky, who's the current champion, versus Liv Morgan. I think Becky's going to win that. I definitely think Becky's going to win that. Becky's not going to lose the title right after winning it only a few weeks ago. Especially because I think Liv Morgan might get the belt by SummerSlam. That, or right before, so then you have Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. But, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think they're going to give it to Liv. I think it might actually go into a triple threat. Liv, Becky, and Rhea Ripley, because Rhea Ripley wants her title back when she gets back, and Liv still wants the belt, because she actually never got the belt after digging out Rhea. I think Rhea would still want revenge against Liv, so I think a triple threat would be awesome. So, because if you guys don't know, I've talked about this a lot, I love triple threats and fatal four-ways, because when it's a triple threat or fatal four-way, there's no DQ, because it's multiple people, so they get to also use items, weapons, all that stuff, which I love watching that stuff. But also, it's a lot more hectic and also a lot more fun, because they get to do a lot more cool stuff, because there's more than just one-on-one. So it's not just a back and forth. There's always someone else that's in the match as well, that's making it flow very well and making it go really, really action-packed. And that's what I love about wrestling. And that's why I really love triple and fatal four-ways, which is why I'm going to like the next match. Sami Zayn, the current Intercontinental Champion, versus Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. So, Bronson Reed actually brought up how he's going to keep his eye on the title. Chad Gable and Sami Zayn have a rivalry, and they're going to get distracted on each other. And Bronson Reed's going to let that rivalry and fight happen, and then all he's going to care about is just getting the title. He doesn't care about what each person has against each other. He just wants the title. So he's going to let them fight each other, and he's just going to take them out. Which, I don't know who's going to... I think Sami's going to retain, because I don't think Sami's going to lose that title. But also, something I know about, but I don't know if they're going to do it because of the King and the Queen tournament happening, where someone's going to win that thing no matter what. But something I think about is, I think, if I'm correct, at every Saudi Arabia show, at least one person loses their title, or like a title change happened, or there's a new champion. But I don't know if that's going to work because of the tournament, so someone is becoming a king and someone's becoming a queen. That is technically a champ type thing. And because of that, it is something that they might just take, where then they don't need to change a title. But out of three stuff here. If someone is going to lose the belt, I think it would be Sammy right now. Right now. If there's any other matches that get confirmed that are title matches, I will bring that up next week because I think it's only, 2-3 weeks away. So I will then bring it up the next time we know if there's any more title confirmed matches. But other than that, we are now at the end. So again, quickly, if you guys haven't already, you guys can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/RangerFud. There's a $3 one, which you get all my ranking videos and all the ranks that I make, as well as the tier list before the video comes out, as well as 4 tier list videos every month based on whatever event I'm doing for the rated stuff. Plus, I'm actually making all the actually downloading all the assets, all the stuff to make it. But also, you guys get the access to the list and all of that, so you guys get to make your own list and share it. And you guys can also then send me, you guys can either reply to me or include my name on Twitter or on Discord with the list that you guys make. There's already a list out for the championships on the Ranger Co podcast channel, so you guys can go over there and go check out the list. I think it's on there. If it's not, it's at least on my Twitter. It's RangerFud. That's where. Also, I've been using Twitter more, so I can be able to give you guys updates about what's happening and trying to get more stuff out there for my side channels. That's why you guys are not seeing a lot of more videos on my main RangerFud channel, because I'm trying to get more stuff out there on my podcasts and giving you guys more content so you guys can go check it out. I will also, I think, upload my rankings video as audio onto the podcast channel. That way, if you guys want to listen to them on the road and stuff, you guys get to just listen to me talk about the rankings and why I think of that. Because of Patreon, I'll also include, when I'm ranking, I'll edit it and I'll include in the background of my editing, of my talking and all that, with the theme song of who I'm talking about, how I'll have it in the background, because I can't have that music on YouTube or my normal podcast. When I'm Patreon, I can do that. I can include the music and I won't get any issues with it. And that's where I can also include a lot more stuff. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. I should have one next week. And in 3 weeks, I'll be no longer a student of a school. And I'll have a lot more content coming out. So see you guys next time. Goodbye.